everyone let me know in the comments if you're here. Thank you for jumping on with me so last minute. But if you'll let me know in the comments if you can hear me, if you can see me, if it's like laggy, which means kind of like delayed at all, because this is my first test here in my new workspace. So I need your feedback. So I'll wait and I know a couple people are here, so I'm going to wait to see if anyone will respond and let me know if you guys can hear and see me okay. Let me know. Take a drink. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee I just made. Hey, Marie, can you hear me? Cool. Nikki says yes from Facebook. What's up, Nikki? Hey, Susie. Hey, Pam. Yay! Everyone's saying they can hear and see just fine. That's awesome because I'm not hooked up to any cords or plugged in directly. Buddy knows how to do all that stuff, but I'm just on my laptop on Wi-Fi. So I was really nervous about how the connectivity would be here in the barn. Because sometimes when I get calls in the barn, I guess because it's metal, I have to step outside to actually hear. So it kind of depends on where I'm at, but I was nervous about going live in here, and now I'm glad to know that I can. So awesome. Oh, there's a glare from the light. Okay, I was wondering about that too. Let me turn it off and let's see if it looks better. Might be a little bit darker. Excuse my gym attire. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, I turned the light off. Might be a little bit more dark, but that's okay. Much better? Okay, cool. Good to know. See, we're working it out. We're getting all the kinks worked out. Yeah, I'm like super excited to be in this space. And I have to admit something that I was thinking about as I was washing dishes. Like I was rinsing out my coffee cup so I could make a new cup of coffee. That I am feeling like some sort of way about being in here now because I've started to move everything in. The past like couple days, I've started to start everything that was inside the house, moving it in here. And now that I have a lot of my stuff in here, I'm almost like, I don't know how to feel. Like I'm almost not nervous, but I don't know. Like I just feel like this chapter is coming to a close, and it's been such a good distraction for me because our house is still in limbo. You know, our house is still leaking every time it rains. So I've just really like focused all my energy in getting this space done. And now that it's done, mostly done, I still have a little bit, I don't know if you've kept up, but I have this little backsplash area behind the microwave. I ran out of material, so I had to order more from Home Depot. Anyway, I still have a little bit, like some final touches to get done, but for the most part it's done, and I can start actually working in here once I get everything moved in. I don't know. It's just been a long time coming, like a really long time coming. And I'm happy about it, but I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised because I've already ran out of room. Like everything is pretty much like, I wasn't even planning on taking some of my storage things that I had, like open shelf type these plastic shelving things that you would normally see in a garage. I had that. And I wasn't planning on bringing it in here because I thought I was going to have plenty of open shelving and open storage because look, I'm going to try not to go too fast because I don't want to make you sick. But like behind me is the open shelving that I installed from ceiling to basically floor. I can't go all the way down because I needed a spot to put my little bar stools. But I had to bring in this little black plastic thing right over here under my shoulder. I had to bring this in because I'm still I still have boxes. Well, speaking of boxes, like I still have a lot of stuff left in the house as far as packing material goes. So I need to figure out a way to store my packing material for when I package things. So right now I've got a good amount of space to like store my soaps and store the candles and store all the things I make. But as far as like when you place an order through Etsy and I get your order and I have to box it up and, package it with bubble wrap and all that kind of stuff, I don't have much, like, I don't have the space for it. So I'm going to have to get creative and I may have to like rethink some things. I do have a rollaway cart, Chase's mom. I'm actually staring at it. It's in Buddy's office. Let's go in Buddy's office because let's just take a little walk around, a little walkabout. I'm going to go slow. Because Buddy's office is also where I'm keeping, where I'm slowly going through and like taking what I need and see back behind here in Buddy's office. Buddy was joking the other day. He said, so I think my office is just going to become like your storage space. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that. It's going to be your office. Here's my little rollaway cart. I mean, try not to make y'all sick. See my little rollaway cart? Yeah. So I've got stuff, and bless Buddy's heart, he's like being pretty patient with me so that I can move in my stuff. And he was telling me, he was like, I know my stuff is not as urgent as your stuff. So like my office can wait. So I've been using his office as kind of like my drop zone. And then I'm slowly taking from there. And let me set y'all down. I really don't want to make y'all sick going in circles here. Like that's the drop zone. And I'm just like slowly like organizing and pulling from there. I know, Tara, that's exactly what he said. Looks like Buddy's office may not be Buddy's office anymore. Right now it's not. I also told Buddy, I said, because we've been looking for a desk, for like a nice desk for him to be in there. Buddy and I have different tastes as far as like, Buddy would be fine to work on like a coffee table. Like he would, what are those little tray tables? Like he would be, he's not very picky when it comes to design features. And as you can tell, I've got like an aesthetic going on, which I found out because Bree came over the other day and she's like, what is this design called? Like, what is this? What vibe, what interior? Because, like there's like modern and industrial. And I really, even though I'm in real estate, I'm not an interior designer. So I didn't really know the name of what I did. I just kind of did it. But then I was scrolling through TikTok. And I guess TikTok, your phone listens to you all the time, right? Like your Facebook, YouTube, whatever you have. It'll start showing you ads of like things that you're into. So I guess since I'm like doing a whole bunch of this type of stuff and ordering a bunch of stuff, it's been sending me things, ads that I may like. Well, I was watching this TikTok and apparently I think compared to this video I saw, it's called Academia. And I had no idea that was even a design. It's Academia, or yeah, it's almost like there's like dark academia and there's like light academia, but it's kind of like a mixture of like a cottage farmhouse academia. Academia is like dark features, dark cabinets, lots of wood, think library. Sometimes it's like maroon and just kind of like dusky and, that vibe. And I didn't know that was a thing. Totally love that though. I didn't want it to be super dark in here because it's a small space already and dark walls will make you feel closed in. It can make it feel cozy, But I just wanted, a dark accent piece. So that's why I went with that. But apparently it's called academia. Look it up. And it's something, but I like it. Anyway, back to the desk. Buddy was thinking about getting, just something called a gamer's desk. And I'm trying to convince him that maybe I could build him like a custom desk that would look good in that space, but we'll see. Because I'm also ready to I don't know, not that I'm ready to stop building per se, but I am ready to do some of the things that I really enjoy over here too. So that's where we're at. We're here, we're in the barn, and I have got most of my soap making stuff over here now. I might actually just try to make some soap and see what I'm missing, because I'm sure I'm going to have to be running back and forth between the house and here, forgetting a whisk or forgetting my blender, or forgetting a spoon or something, so I may just try to do a batch and just see what all I need that I haven't thought of. I've been going through all my cabinets, trying to picture my mind oh yeah, I use this from here, and I use this from the craft closet, and I use this from my craft room, and I use this from the laundry room, the pantry. The pantry in our house now has so much more space because I had all of my oils: coconut oil, olive oil, almond oil, castor oil, hemp oil, sunflower, so many different oils were just everywhere in our pantry, and now I had to clean it all out to bring it here, and now there's just so much room in the pantry. It looks good. So that's where I'm at. I'm excited to start working in here and doing stuff in here. So yeah, today is pretty gloomy and overcast because I'm sure you guys are keeping up with the weather. There's a major hurricane headed towards Louisiana. We were kind of scared for a minute there because we had this cool front, which felt amazing. The humidity levels were low, and early mornings were in the 60s, and it felt so good. But that front that came down was pushing some moisture down in the Gulf. And then as the front left us, it pulled that moisture back up, and it combined to tropical depressions to a tropical storm. And they didn't know for a little bit if it was just going to go straight up to Texas or if that front was going to pull it. And it ended up pulling it. And I've been watching it because you just never know. Y'all, we were in the Dakotas, and we didn't realize that Beryl was supposed to be, because Hurricane Beryl was supposed to go to Mexico, if you guys remember. So I just, and I know the closer of landfall, the more accurate, but this has been on my phone pretty much all morning long. And something that I was noticing was that this morning when I woke up and checked, the projection was that it was supposed to hit the Lafayette area. And now it's more between New Orleans and Lafayette. It's even shifting further east. So it's shifting further away from Texas, which is, good for us, but, unfortunate for Louisiana. I hate that anybody has to deal with that mess. But yeah, so just be praying for Louisiana, and I hope that the impacts are super minimal and that everyone's prepared and ready. I know we just constantly have our guard up here just during hurricane season. Speaking of hurricane season, I got a call from my insurance broker, and he is the guy who shops my insurance plans for us, for this house and our rental properties and things. And he was like, hey, I've got a front row seat to these emails going back and forth between you and the insurance company. What's going on? And I was like, guess is as good as mine. we're still waiting. So I sent a follow-up email to that attorney that we were talking to, and I was like, hey, I understand that you said that insurance companies get like a longer grace period because of natural disasters. Like they have a longer time to process your claim. But I was like, what is that time period? Like, what is the hard and fast like end date on when we have to get an answer from them? And he was like, even after extensions, typically it's 75 to 80 days that they have to give you an answer on what they're going to do. And day 80 is at the end of September for us. So, in like 20 days, we should have some sort of, that's time's ticking. So, Linda, you're in Mississippi and you're charging your power station. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just because as it goes that way, you just never know, like with the winds and everything. So yeah, but as far as we go, we still have a tarp on our roof. And it's just kind of been a battle because you guys know that the tarping company that came to tarp our roof tied it to some of our vent pipes, and it pulled the pipes that caused more leaking, and no one is taking responsibility for that. The insurance company is not taking responsibility for it. The roofing company that did it is not taking responsibility for it. So it's just kind of a finger pointing thing. So we're just stuck. And this has been my focus in here to take my mind off of that so I don't go absolutely crazy. So I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee. I know I have not updated you guys on much going on outside of the barn, but I have some sad news. And this is why I try not to have favorites. Sometimes they just happen. Like certain animals will just kind of, especially in farm life, I've learned over the years not to get attached too quickly to babies. Babies, sometimes struggle to thrive. It's hard though. When you have a heart and a soul, right? It's hard. But so we had a little bit of an incident in our chicken coop. We had a break-in, and I didn't even make a video on it for any channel, Facebook or YouTube, but I'll just go ahead and update you guys on this. But my very favorite chicken, Beaker, my little white Beaker with the fluffy head, it was a raccoon got in and broke through the chicken wire, ripped it up. Even though I have a no dig, there's no dig all the way around my coop, these metal grates that go in the ground and for dogs and things. So this raccoon climbed up the side of our chicken wire, and where the side meets the roof, the pitch where the tarp is, it pulled it up and got in. And so, yeah, bummer. That was last week, I think. And it got Beaker and one of my juvenile roosters. It took a rooster because I had 2 roosters that I had hatched along with Big Boy, my big buff. He's still good, but it took a rooster and Beaker, which I was like, of course it took Beaker because Beaker's my favorite. And this is why we don't have favorites, Stephanie. It's just, I go through these cycles where you try really hard to do everything you can to predator proof, and something happens. The previous time we had chickens, 2 dogs got inside the coop and couldn't get out and killed everything, but were trapped in the coop when I came and discovered that all of my chickens were dead. 21 chickens were dead, and these dogs were in there. And at that point, I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I like wash my hands of this. I can't do this anymore. And I had to give myself like a mental break of having chickens. And then time goes by and you kind of like not forget, but you like heal from that. And then you're like, you know what? I think I want to get chickens again. And then you get chickens again. And then something kills your favorite chicken. And then all over again, it's like the cycle of like, it's just heartbreak. But we try to do our best to like protect them and enjoy them. Chickens don't have super long lives as it is. Like they die. We had 2 die during the hottest part of the summer. They just will fall off the roost and die. Iris was with the one with the bad eye infection that never could. She died, but she had a sister that looked just like her. The day after Iris died, she died. And I don't know if she like died of heartbreak or because they were always together and her sister was no longer there, or if she died of heat because it was so hot that she just like, it looked like she just fell off the roost. Like she was just dead on the ground underneath the roost. So I don't know if it was that or if she just was really sad and she died. I don't know. But chickens are like, farm animals it's hard. It's like it's a hard life, like to love them and raise them and care for them and talk to them every day. And then something happens and, I don't know. Makes me want to, if I could, I would just put them all in my bathroom, but Buddy wouldn't probably have a problem with that. But that's probably where they'd be safest. And you know what? It makes me think of like the old times, like back in the day where people would be, that was like how they lived, right? Like if you didn't have your chickens or if you didn't have your pigs or if, something got to all of them, that was a big problem. And it just makes me think sometimes back on those times, it's like something can just come in and wipe out. I mean, thank goodness we live in a time where you could run to the grocery store and pick up eggs or meat, if we need to. But yeah, it just makes me think of like, what would happen back in the day if, it's crazy. Yeah, Lois, we do have a raccoon problem. Like I've heard that all of Pops' chickens, Pops is like trying to grab a chicken from each one of us not too long ago because all of his chickens were slowly being taken, and some of Bree's chickens went missing. And so we do have and it might just be that time of year, like the fall, they're trying to get kind of fat, and they're just like kind of getting not desperate so much, but maybe just like finding extra meals for the winter time. So yeah, we do have a lot of raccoons around here. Skunks will do it. We don't have weasels. We don't have like a weasel problem, and we don't have fox. Like we don't have a fox problem. A lot of times people up north will have problems with fox and weasels, but we don't. We normally have like possums. Oh man, possums and raccoons are like the number 1 and 2 predators here in our area for chickens, other than like stray dogs. But I hardly ever let my chickens out unless I'm outside working in the garden, which I haven't been because the garden is like a jungle right now. But unless I'm outside, the chickens are in their run, which is a really big run. But yeah, dogs tend to be a problem. But yeah, it's the raccoons and possums that'll do it. Yeah, we just kind of have to deal with it. And sometimes Jake will trap them and rehome them, take them elsewhere. But I haven't even really seen what they're doing with the raccoons lately. I haven't really asked or kept up with what they're doing up there. I have been hanging out with Jake a lot lately, though. We're still looking for the perfect property. So I'm still helping Jake with that. And so that's still ongoing. I'm sure he's updated you guys with things that are going on. I briefly saw one of his videos that he talked about some deed issues he was having with the one piece of property that we we came to an agreement, a verbal agreement, and then we had some setbacks. So now we're kind of still, that's on the back burner. And I told Jake, like, hey, while we work through this, let's keep our eyes open and maybe we'll find something else that we like in the meantime. That's not going to be like so much of a headache and red tape for you to jump through hoops to maybe get this property. So I'm trying to give him some different options and advice, working through that with him. Yeah, and that's pretty much all we've got going on. Oh, well, Alora's ecstatic because I'm pretty sure it's out by now that Dan and Kim got new horses. So Alora has every day that she comes home. Today actually this afternoon is her horseback riding lessons. We changed it, her instructor changed her lessons to Tuesday afternoon. So we've got Alora's horseback riding lessons, but when she comes home from school, lately she's just been running over to Kim's so that she can go see. I think she's calling him Big Boy now, but I think his original name was Spike. So I think she's calling him Big Boy. I don't think Kim was like a big fan of Spike, of the name Spike. I don't know, but maybe she's going to call him Spike. I'm not sure. But am I frozen? Uh-oh. Am I frozen, guys? Someone said I'm frozen. Let me know if I'm frozen or not. Can y'all see me? No? Okay, not frozen. Sweet. Okay, so Alora goes over to Kim so she can see Big Boy every day that she can. So I think the plan is hopefully one day we're going to get Alora a horse that she can ride. But this weekend, it's on my calendar. Actually, this Saturday marks 1 full year. Let me look. I just want to make sure that I'm not misspeaking. Yeah. Alora's been doing horseback riding for a full year now. Like, it's been crazy. I can't believe that it's been a year. But she's been in lessons for a full year. And, family around here, a lot of them, because they grew up here and they grew up in this environment, and Alora grew up here too, right? But a lot of times people don't get lessons. Like they just get up on a horse and start riding, or they're taught by their family or dad or mom or whatever. For me, I wanted Alora to have someone else from away from here teach her all the things, because even though I had lessons myself and I grew up riding and things like that, it's different for kids, I think, when they learn. Not like when I'm telling my kids, sometimes they're like, "Oh, Mom," they're like, "No, I'm telling you this so you don't die. Like, this is for your safety." "Oh, Mom, you're being dramatic." No. But if Miss Kathleen tells her, you need to keep your eyes up, you look on the ground, you're going to roll, it's different. I feel like if someone teaches her the importance, because horses are dangerous. Like, we know this, right? We know this because Jamie got kicked in the mouth, and I had an accident where I had a bad concussion and I busted my head open. And even though I did an emergency dismount and I did all the things right, horses are so they're wonderful, but they can be so dangerous and deadly. So I wanted to make sure that she got some proper training. All that to say, she's been doing it a year now. She's been doing wonderfully. And I was hoping that she took to it and loved it, because I knew that if she had a horse here, it was going to be really important for her to take care of that horse and know the responsibilities and picking the feet and feeding and, saddle care and horse maintenance and brushing and all the horse husbandry that goes along with it, instead of just, "Oh, I've got a horse and Mom's going to take care of it." So that was really important for me for her to have those lessons. And I think the horse that Kim has, they were once rideable horses, but the girl who had them, I don't know the full story of all of it, but basically it's been a long time since they've been ridden. So I believe the plan is to slowly acclimate them to see about getting them back into that. Now, Or will not be the one to re-break these horses, but we're going to see about, because apparently they were great riding horses at once upon a time. And I know they can be retrained to do that. So that is the goal, is to get her and we would love to see the girls like Brinley Grace and Alora and Bay and one day Coda and Carter and Carly. Like, if they were all in the back by the river riding, how awesome would that be? Like, just for me as a mom and like our family, just to see this new generation of girls back there just riding together and running around and just, be with their horses and do that kind of thing. I would just love to go back there and see that. And because that's what I did, that's something I can remember me and my sister doing growing up, is just midnight riding bareback with just the moonlight. Like, I have such fond memories of me and my sister sneaking out in the middle of the night and going to our horses, and our parents didn't even, oh my gosh, like I don't even know if my mom and dad know about this. Maybe they know about it now, but like, we would just sneak out and just go outside and just jump on our horses and go ride in the moonlight in the middle of the night. I mean, not like we were galloping or anything. We would just be laying down on the back of our horses, talking, me and my sister, and that was just such a fun time. And maybe they will sneak out in the middle of the night and go ride their horse in the moonlight. Like, there could be worse things, right? So I just remember having those memories, and I hope that as they get older, they can create some of those memories too. So anyway, would Courtney be an option for buying a horse? Possibly, Penny. So Courtney does those rehab horses. We've got a lot of horses up on this hill. We've got Barbie and Tigger, and I know that Barbie can't be ridden. She has the kissing spine condition. I'm not really sure about Tigger. I can't remember what the deal is with Tigger, if he's rideable or not. But I think we're collecting some horses over here, so we're going to see how that pans out before we jump on the horse bandwagon. Plus, eventually, when we do get her a horse over here on our side, I want to make sure, and I've talked about this in the past, that we have something set up first. Like, we build out the shelter first. I think the plan is a little bit of a lean-to off the backside of the barn, and that has a lane that goes down the side of the garden to our back pasture that Molly is in, and now the other horse is in. Like, our back pasture, we just kind of let Kim's animals go back and forth. So our horse will have access to that one day. So that's the plan, but I want to make sure that, we're all set up first for that. And then of course we would, oh yeah, you're right. She's been on Tigger. She's got that bareback pad thing that I don't know what I was thinking. Yes, she rides Tigger. So yeah, we're going to set something up. We'll have something set up before we get her a horse. But I think we're getting closer and closer. I mean, she's 9 years old now. I think by the time we're probably ready for her to have her own horse, maybe by the time she's 10 next year, maybe sooner, I'm not sure. But I just want her to get to that maturity level, that she fully grasps all of the things, right? So that's where I'm at. And for now, she can have lessons and she can ride weekly and she can tinker around on whatever we have over here. But as far as our house is concerned, we'll make sure that she's super ready to have her own horse. Yeah, set up for success, Nancy. That's exactly right. I think they meant Courtney to help retrain them. Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. I don't know. Possibly. I think Dan and Kim are pretty brave people. I know Kim is having some problems with her knee. We were just talking about this the other day. I was talking to Kim about her horse. about getting back on him. She was like, man, back in the day, I think I would have just jumped right on him. She's like, but now I really think about the consequences of being bucked off and like what that would do to my body. I'm like, yeah, I think about that too. And I'm not 56, so I think about that too, and how I wouldn't want to be the one to, re-break a horse for sure. Not with my back. No, thank you. Lou can teach her to barrel race. Yeah. I don't know if maybe you guys are if you have any insight on this, but some people I've spoken with when it comes to like rodeos, I've heard that you kind of have to be not like necessarily born into like that scene, but to get into the scene of like rodeoing and barrel racing, you can't just like get in it. It's almost like a network of, I don't know, who you know. And obviously you'd have to have like professional training. I think if Alora got into it when she was younger, it would be easier for her to make that transition. But let's say she turns 15 and she's like, I want a barrel race. Well, I think it would be a little bit harder for her than if she would have started younger. And one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to push her into something that it's going to be my responsibility to be like, all right, let's go. It's barrel race time. Like, I want that to be a passion of hers. And if it's not, I don't want to. I've already gone down that road with baseball and with Connor and trying to find like, force them to do something that truly is not their passion. So I'm kind of letting her take the reins, so to speak, on this. And she definitely has a passion for horseback riding, but I don't know if like the rodeo aspect is there. And I don't really know if she like knows much about it. I know she watches all of the horse shows on Netflix and Disney and Spirit and Black Beauty, and she loves those types of shows, but I'm not sure if rodeo is her thing. But yeah, for sure. If she, trail riding. I love trail riding. Oh my gosh, I used to love trail riding. If she does show interest in barrel racing, then Lou would be my go-to, because Lou is a barrel racer herself, which I think is so cool. Like, I don't think a lot of people know that about Lou, that she was just a barrel racer. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm reading some of I'm trying to glance in local roundup clubs. Yeah, I think I've seen some. Horses in Texas is like football in Texas. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Oh, thanks, Cheryl, for the compliment on the little barn. Oh, y'all want to see something really cool? So everything up here on this open shelf is like something it needs to be practical and like used. But I wanted a little piece of art to go right here under this light, just because it's an open space. And I had this piece of art in my pantry, and it's so special to me, and I'll show it to you. My grandma painted this. Isn't that neat? It's her signature right there. Olga. She painted this in 2002. So she painted these. And I love it. I love looking at it. And this is actually an egg collection basket. One of you guys sent this to me, and I have it in here. So yeah, I wanted things over there to be practical, like little ramekins and my dehydrated lemons that I put in my lemon suckers. You know, those little suckers I make? Those are my dehydrated lemons. And then the vanilla that I made. Oh, you can't see it. So I made that vanilla, and I put it there. That way I can shake it up, because when you make vanilla, you have to shake it every so often. So I can see it and shake it. Yeah. I've got my little soap cutters up there too. So I just try to make sure that the things I put up there are like things I'm going to use and that are practical, but also aesthetically pleasing. Behind me, I've got my cookbooks that I've been cooking with. that you guys know, the Cooking Through the 20th Century, the old school cookbooks that I was on this like kick, which I still am, took a little hiatus of cooking these old-timey recipes, like 100-year-old recipes, which I think are so cool. So I put those up there. And the lentils in that bag are the lentils that I sometimes sprout for my chickens, for chicken feed. I got my funnels, some knives, my mortar and pestle for like dried herbs and things, and a candle I made, some cast iron that I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, little honey pot. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of like a little bit of a tour. Oh, and I had this kind of put away for a long time. Let me show it to you. Check it out. So typically like in the winter months, like cooler months, Buddy and I like loose leaf hot tea. Like in the evenings, he'll normally make me a cup of hot tea and himself a hot tea. And a long time ago, can't even remember now. It's like maybe like 10 years ago, 13, I don't know. Buddy and I were at the mall for some reason. Gosh, I haven't been to the mall in forever. And we came across this tea shop. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're called Teavana. And I think they were taken over by Starbucks now or something. But it was actually its own store called Teavana. And they sold all these different loose leaf teas. And they sold these really neat teapots. And this is a cast iron teapot. But look, it has a dragonfly on it, which I love dragonflies. I have one tattooed behind my ear. It's a dragonfly teapot. And I was like, this is the coolest thing. And it has like a little strainer, like you put your loose leaf tea in it, and then you pour your hot water over it, and it just steeps in this little pot. And then it came with this cast iron stand that has like a tea light in it. I don't know if it's going to fall. Yeah. Has this little tea light. So you light the tea light and you put your little teapot on here and it keeps it warm. Like it keeps it warm like the tea that you're not like currently drinking. And then he got me, so Buddy, spoiler alert, Buddy like picked this up for me and he was like, we have to have it. So he bought this for me and he got me a little matching cup and saucer. But he got himself one that's different than mine. Well, he got the dragon. It's a black one, but it's the dragonfly saucer. But this one has a dragon cup. His is a dragon. I don't know if you can see that. But these are like heavy cast iron, and it was made in Japan. So like real authentic like Japan tea set. And I thought that was so cool. And I had this put away like somewhere safe. But now I got to bring it out and I was like, I'm going to put it up so I can see it every day. And then we can have it, maybe, whenever it gets cooler outside. Cause it's kind of hot here for hot tea a lot. So we typically save the hot tea for the winter months. Anyway, so that was a little bit of a tour of what I have on my open shelving, things that mean something to me and things that I'm going to be using. And yeah, so. Anyway, I've been on live for almost 45 minutes, y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and I wasn't planning on this. I was really just planning on testing it out and seeing how the signal was and if I could like even talk to you guys, which I've just been blabbing, catching up. It's been a long time. I feel like it's really, truly been a long time. We missed our last Sunday live. So we're going to try to be more, it's like every other weekend we've been catching a live, but this weekend I'm sure we'll be on live. So we'll see you then. But yeah, so for today I'm going to continue to try to give Buddy back his office, and I'll be in here unpacking and organizing and trying to make space, but I'm sure I'll update you on once I figure out more storage options. But I'm going to jump off here. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Louisiana, please stay safe. Hunker down, evacuate if you need to. You are totally in my thoughts and prayers. I get it. So we'll be thinking about you guys, but I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.